Connected in association with pigsback.com. You get more back with pigsback.com.
Now, we've got a varied selection of websites to show you this morning, from detailed steps on how to travel by land, even when you might think that air is your only option, to a site that might help you improve your flirting techniques. Well, it takes all sorts, I suppose. Maeve Neesey from the Irish Internet Association joins us with all the details. Good morning, Maeve.
Good morning.
Now, this first one has a very interesting title, and I need my glasses. www.seat61.com.
Yes.
Tell us about this.
Well, this website was started by a guy, Mark Smith, from Buckinghamshire, who, I would say is probably slightly nerdy, and he always tried to pick, sorry if I've insulted him, he always tried to pick that particular seat on a train because it's a good seat, okay? And then his interest in travelling, because he prefers, I don't think he likes flying, so he prefers to travel by land. He built up loads and loads of knowledge about trains, networks, roads, buses, and now he's put this website together so that you don't have to go to all the millions of different sites to try and get your information. He'll put all the sites together for you and tell you where to find the information. So if you decide, I want to travel by land, this is the site to go to, right across Europe. So, in fact, travelling by train is a fabulous way to travel.
It's the loveliest way to travel.
Exactly, and you can see photographs of what you're going to get if you're going to have a sleeper or you're going to have an ordinary coach. But some of my family did it this year in France, and it really is a way to see the country. So I think it's a more leisurely way to travel. This will give you all the connections, and maybe it's just a holiday and an adventure in itself rather than just flying in and out somewhere and getting no sense of it.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I'd be interested to find out, what sort of uptake or the amount of hits he's had on it. So www.seat61, all one word, .com.
That's the one.
Okay. Now, speaking of travel and finding your way around, www.aaireland.ie.
Yes, I'm sure people have
we
used...
all know this.
We all know the AA Ireland, but they do a very, very good route planner, so that if you're going to somewhere that you do know or you don't know, you put in where you're leaving from and your destination, and then it'll plan out the route for you. And I do quite a lot of travelling around Ireland, and often to places that I'm not familiar with, so I used this quite a lot. But this is a new beta version now that they've got of a new, more upgraded one, and it's much better, I think. It's got a couple of bells and whistles that they haven't had before.
For example?
For example, if you want to go via a particular town, you can do a via. And I think that's important because often, Irish people know a little tricky route that to the camera, to the satellite doesn't look like the best route, but in fact it is, because you're missing out on a couple of things that make the journey longer, or there's very bad roads. So you can plan your route via somewhere. The other thing you can do is you can click on it to show you where all the roadworks are, which is a godsend. Because, if you're going down somewhere, you're doing great time, and half an hour outside Carlow, there's a whole load of roadworks, you've lost all the time you've gained. And even if just to allow yourself to plan for it.
Funny that you should mention Carlow, because I ran into those roadworks not so long ago.
You know the ones I'm talking about.
I think it added about 40 minutes to the journey.
Exactly. And you're sitting there, and there's nothing you can do about it. So at least if you know about it, you can plan for it, and you can maybe do an alternative route. So it's really worthwhile going in and having a look. Now, there's loads of road planners, but I think this is a very good one.
OK, well, aaireland.ie. Now, number 3 is www.bing.com/maps. Now, this is a competitor for Google Maps.
Exactly.
But also Bing is a competitor for Google, and I know this is shaking up the whole internet world anyway, so tell us a little bit about the background to that.
OK, well, Microsoft have been trying to come out all the time about Bing with a competitor to Google.
Well, they tried to buy Google first, didn't they?
Exactly. Well, if you can't buy one, try and build your own. And they've kind of failed as they've gone along the way. But Bing, particularly the maps part of it, the search engine is good as well, and has a couple of other bells and whistles we talked about before. But the the Bing Maps part of it is really, really good. Extremely good in terms of the visuals and the information it gives you, and it's got a little bit extra to offer you.
I think we've all probably had a look at our house on Google Earth or Google Maps.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how is this one better?
I think it's faster from what I can see. It's easier, I think, to use, and it gives you this aerial bird's eye view as well, which is really, really strong and very well done. Now, I'm sure the people who use these a lot will have comparisons to make that maybe aren't so much in favour of Bing. But certainly when I was trying to look for a route and I tried to navigate my way around roads that I knew, I thought this was really, really good, and that the alternative views that you can take, rather than just being a map, coming right down to a bird's eye view into your neighbourhood, being able to see inside your garden and everybody else is around, is extremely good. So I think it's a good competitor for Google. OK, www.bing.com/maps. I mean, it is lovely.
to think that you can actually have a look at your house from space, from some satellite.
I know, yeah.
And then you think,
Why?
Why? And what else are they looking at?
Yeah.
And it reminds me of Huxley, but there you go. www.airbike.ie. Now, I think this is probably what it sounds like, is it?
It is. I mean, I kind of thought, what on earth are they doing? Basically, it's instead of getting a taxi or a bus or whatever to your route, you can ring up this taxi service, you can book it online and get a price online to be driven by motorbike, to anywhere in Dublin and the Greater Dublin area. So the whole idea is it's designed for somebody who's in a rush and cannot deal with the traffic. So they pick you up with the bike, they drop you, and you pay them the fee. But of course, because of traffic and traffic being a big issue in Dublin, it'll speed you there quicker than you would if you went by taxi or by bus.
So it's a fancy name for courier.
Or by car, or by car. Exactly.
Fancy name for people courier.
Passenger courier. And it's not, I mean, I went and I did a couple of routes that I would take to the airport and stuff to see what the prices were like. And for routes to the airport, I don't think it's any more expensive at all than, say, a taxi. But, you get there much faster. But what about your luggage?
Yeah, exactly. You have to get on the back of a bike and a helmet and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see you in your business suit now.
Off on the back of a bike.
No, I'm sure. Listen, in this day and age, anybody who's starting out new business needs all the help they get. And obviously, if speed is of the essence, then this is the quickest way to do it. So
exactly.
www.airbike.ie. By the way, any idea on prices?
Well, to the airport was €40. And I didn't obviously take the journey, but you can put in, where you're going from say, Mespel Road, which is our offices, to the airport was €40.
What would a taxi to the airport be?
I think it's not that far off.
Yeah. 40 euros. It did seem like a lot to me initially. If I'm being too harsh, I apologise. Didn't mean that. www.airbike.ie. Finally, www.flirtomatic.com. Tips on how to flirt. It's amazing, it's fun, it's bizarre, and it'll get you slapped in the face, I imagine.
I think so. Well, this actually, I came across this site. Now, this is not the site for me necessarily, so I thought. But actually,
You're never too old to flirt, maybe.
Well, flirting with someone you've never met and strangers, just, I couldn't imagine that being entertaining. But it is huge following, and an awful lot of it's done through the mobile. So they have a whole operation where you do the flirting through the mobile. You can do a flirt test. You can learn new flirt terms. You can choose who to flirt with, at any time, anywhere, any place. But actually, a lot of older people have signed up, my age and older, to use this and rave about it being really, really good and great fun and harmless and all the rest. So that's why I put it in, because I'd heard so many good things about it.
It has to be said that people of, I don't know about your age, but people of my age, a lot of people of my age are on the market again, or second relationships, are thinking about it and all the rest of it, and would have completely lacked practice or be out of practice.
Yeah, a gentle way of kind of breaking yourself back into the flirting.
All right, mate. That's www.flirtomatic.com. We've also looked at airbike.ie, bing.com/maps, aaireland.ie, and seat61.com. And you can get details of those sites on our website, which is www.tv3/Ireland. Maeve Nisi, thank you very much indeed. We'll take a break. See you back here in a few minutes' time.
Ireland Connected in association with pigsback.com. You get more back with pigsback.com.